Hey guys, how's it going? My name is JP Magan, and I am going to be creating a YouTube channel dedicated to free online math tutorials. Now, this basically means I'm going to be uploading different mini lessons for different concepts in mathematics, starting from the very beginning, going over some basic algebra review, and then moving up towards pre-calculus, calculus, differential equations, linear algebra, some of those concepts as well. So, I'm very passionate about math, and I think that everyone in some way should know math in some way, shape, or form, even if it's the most basic. So, and even if you don't like it, you can treat this as like a challenge, like a challenging puzzle, like Rubik's Cube. It's like there's algorithms involved. You could make mathematical correlations to it. Everyday life, like business and stuff, you need math. Like math surrounds us. It governs everything that you see, that you do, that you use. So very important. But anyways, yeah, this is just basically the intro to this channel, explaining a little bit about myself and what's going to be covered through this channel. So moving on, let's see here. I'll just talk a little bit about myself for a second, just before getting into it. So let me talk about my background first. I'm currently a aerospace engineering student at the University of Central Florida in Orlando. I'm pursuing this degree in order to basically become a rocket scientist. That's my goal. So I would like to work, at NASA or SpaceX or Blue Origins or one of those big companies where I can really make an impact with what I'm learning now. So that's my background, my goals and stuff. So as you imagine, with engineering, we have a lot of math. So that's where my experience comes in with the mathematics. I had to start in intermediate algebra because, fun fact, I was awful at math when I first started college. And coming out of high school, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a biologist. Well, biology, you need math, but not to the extent that you need it for engineering. So I was a little behind with that. But I have taken all the math classes that you can think of up to basically, I touched on linear algebra a little bit, but that wasn't too challenging for me. So yeah, I have a lot of experience with math, so I'm more than happy to try to share the techniques I've learned throughout my college experience and give that to the people that watch these videos. So what do I want to do with this channel? Well, basically, I would like to have the opportunity to teach people math. So I'm currently a student, so I'm not really in a position to get like a teaching license or anything, but YouTube is fantastic because it allows me to upload videos, just explaining concepts that might not be as in depth in the classroom and stuff like that. So, I'm more than happy to take some of my free time and teach people how to do proper mathematics and see the beauty in it, basically. So, and the next point I guess I should bring up is what will you expect from this channel? Well, we're going to go over a lot of different topics in this class, starting with algebra. Algebra is a fundamental concept in math, and it governs basically, all the activities that happen in your day-to-day life. You just may not see it. For example, I'll actually turn this into a practice problem eventually, but one of my friends was like, hey, we have a huge room, we have like certain amount of square footage and it's this much per month. They told me the square footage of their room and their friend's room and basically said, can you come up with a payment system that makes it even based on square footage? Well, that's just an algebra problem, so having a good algebra basis, you can just solve those little day-to-day problems. So when you're learning algebra initially, it's not useless. I will say that. A lot of people are like, oh, algebra is useless. You don't really need it that much. But when you start to see its concepts and how they're applied, it's pretty important. But after algebra, that will give us the opportunity to move into pre-calculus. And pre-calculus basically takes all your algebra concepts and makes them a little bit more intense and refined. So you go into a little bit more detail and you get to more complex problem solving. So that's going to be a really fun area to get into. First, we're going to be starting off with our algebra, just like very, very, very basic concepts that should already be known. So I'm not going to go into too much depth on this topic per se. But yeah, moving on after pre-calc, we actually go to calculus. So there's a couple different types of calculus that I'm going to cover here. You have Calc 1, Calc 2, and Calc 3. Calc 1 is going to be dedicated to differential calculus. Calc 2 is going to be dedicated to integral calculus, and Calc 3 is going to be dedicated to vector calculus. Now, if you are unsure of anything I just said there, please know that I will be teaching these concepts in the future. So don't worry, stay tuned for the future videos. But after calculus, once you learn those methods, you'll be able to solve differential equations and learn how those work, how they're applied to real life scenarios, and why they're so important. I don't know why that keeps getting messed up when I touch that. And then following differential equations, it's very good to have some linear algebra basis as well. And linear algebra basically just is a lot of matrices. And it's not all it entails, but matrices are a big concept of that. So all of these concepts here are going to be the main topics that are covered in my channel. Eventually, I'd like to go over some engineering topics as well, but for now, I'd like to primarily focus on mathematics. And basically, this is the journey that I took through college, going through algebra, pre-calc, calc, differential equations, and then a little bit of linear algebra. So I'm going to take you in the path that I took that got me to where I am now, where I'm pretty comfortable in all these areas of mathematics. So with that being said, thank you so much if you decided to stick to me up to this point. If you have any questions or concerns, please list it in the comments below. And with that being said, I will upload the first video soon regarding algebra concepts. So yeah, again, all this stuff is going to be a review up until pre-calc, and then I'm going to start going a little bit more in depth. But yeah, stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching.